My name's Aprille and I do lots of things, but primarily I am an advocate for women and their growth, their happiness, their progression as business owners. I'm also a grandmother, a daughter, a mother. I'm a great friend, and I'm just having a ball doing the things that I love doing the most, which is empowering and advocating for others.
You heard it. It's Aprille Franks. Welcome to Womanly Shit, the podcast where CEOs are off the clock.
So much to being an entrepreneur that has nothing even to do with entrepreneurship and everything to do about your life. Sometimes our lives need to be in rehab. Sometimes we need to be like, oh my God, I really need to just take a dial back. It kind of reminds me of when the pandemic first hit in 2020, how while it was so chaotic at the same time, I felt some relief that I didn't have to do as much. Some experiences, you can't just tell a person that this is what happened. You got to see it. And that's what She's So Frank is about.
So, hey y'all. So I'm recording this video before the class even starts. If I look teary-eyed, it's because we are making history, and I just had a very emotional moment that is super positive, and I'll share that with y'all later. But if you are on the Contentology class, I want you to please send me back your feedback. Like, what is your takeaway from my training? What did you learn that was new? What do you believe you'll be able to implement as a result? How do you think this is going to help you grow your business and better connect with your audience? I only need less than 60 seconds. If you can also say like what your Instagram handle is, that'd be great so that I can tag you on IG and share your beautiful face and your story with my audience. That would be fantastic.
Because I am so frank and honest, and that's why my brand, I believe, is why it's so popular. It's because people know when they come to me that it's going to be frank and honest and authentic feedback. There's never going to be any fluff. You never leave a conversation with me wondering, are you complete? No, it's complete. And I'm like that in every area of my life. And so for this, I was sitting here with Aprille D. Baker. Y'all make sure y'all check her out. She's amazing. YouTube creator. And we were sitting in my bed, actually, me, her, and Josette, which is one of my clients in my mastermind. And we were just thinking about names for this. And I was like, you know what? They're going to be like, I'm so frank. And then Aprille says, she's so frank. And then that's how it came about. And so the truth is, I am so frank about women in our position in the world. I'm so frank about advocating for the things that I believe in. I'm so frank about women hitting the bottom lines in their goals and being in alignment and operating in their femininity. And I'm so frank about my positions on relationships and sex and love. And I'm so frank about all the things.
So today we can talk about vaginas and hormones and things. And then the last segment is Spill the Tea, and that's where both of us share something that people would normally know. And people have shared all types of shit. I mean, from orgies to their first time getting high to whatever. So you can share at your comfort level.
All the womanly shit.
We talked about that yesterday. All right, let's get started.
Recording in progress.
You heard it. It's Aprille Franks. Welcome to Womanly Shit, the podcast where CEOs are off the clock. And today, my amazing guest co-host, Miss Aprille D. Baker, is joining us from, where are you?
I'm in Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee. I want to say Nashville.
Yeah. Nashville works.
Nashville works. So, Aprille, what's up?
The truth is, people want to see behind the scenes because people often online. You don't know if what you're looking at is real or not. And the truth of the matter is this is not scripted. We didn't script this. I literally just planned that they were coming here to shoot this between last night late and this morning. So it wasn't even like there's so much that you don't get to see. And I want you to see the real, like literally under this outfit is a freaking faja because I had liposuction like 3 weeks ago. Like there's so many things going on. Things even this morning were going on just trying to record the Womanly Shit podcast.
Oh, it's been so windy lately. I think it just kind of snapped off. Never a dull moment here. You never know what you'll find. Okay, I guess for now we'll bring it inside. We'll have to have it refitted. Welcome to Aprille & Co. I'll just stand here all day.
My name is Stacey Cusimano. I am the Client Services Coordinator here at Aprille & Co. I have been here for, November was my 1 year, so a little over a year now, which is really exciting. I can't believe how fast the time has gone. I am a true Las Vegas local. I was born and raised here in this city. The story about how I came to be at Aprille & Co. is actually really funny. I was out of a job due to COVID, and a friend of mine had suggested TaskRabbit and that I become a tasker. So I signed up, and literally I'd only done 2 tasks prior to Aprille hiring me. The first 2 were very easy, very simple, and then I get a request coming through from Aprille. And her request says, I need help. I am leaving for Jamaica tomorrow. Nothing is done. My office is a mess. I haven't finished my slides. I need to hook up this printer. Can you just come here for 8 hours and help me? So obviously I had nothing better to do with my time, so I accepted the task. And she literally hired me for a full 8-hour day, and it was under personal assistant. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens. So she sends me her address. I show up to the condo. She lets me in, and most of the time I'm very outgoing and very personable, but I am in my little turtle shell because I don't know what's going on. I don't know this woman from Adam, and I don't know anything about what I'm about to get myself into. So I show up, I go upstairs, her office and her desk looks like something threw up on it. And so she was like, can you just start here? She was like, can you find the bottom of my desk? I was like, absolutely. So she goes about, she's puttering, doing other things. I'm cleaning her desk. She was like, can you set this printer up for me? It's actually this printer here. So she was like, can you set this up for me? And I was like, sure. So I'm sitting there fighting with her printer. She's doing other things. And then she was like, okay, she was like, really the last thing that I need from you is I haven't done my slides for my presentation for Jamaica. She was like, can you help me with like the shell? She needed me to go in, set up the slides so that all she had to do was go in and type in the boxes that I'd already pre-created. So mind you, I'm a tasker. I had just showed up. I don't have my own computer. I don't have anything. So she sets me down at her desk, at her computer, and all of her accounts and everything, right? So she goes downstairs and she's doing some other things, and I'm just typing away, doing my thing. She comes upstairs and she goes, I have to go. I have to go get my hair cut before I leave. And I was like, ma'am. I was like, you're leaving? Like, mind you, at this point, she's only known me 2 hours, maybe, and she's leaving me in her big, beautiful condo with everything that she owns by myself. And I was like, okay. So she heads out. I keep working on her slides and everything. She comes back and she was like, thank you so much. And I'm so excited for you. And so we started talking about some other things. And she was like, what's your background in, is essentially what she asked me. And I was like, well, most of my background is sales, marketing, and events. And so she kind of like looked at me and she was like, send me your resume. She was like, we're hiring for a position. And I was like, sure, okay. So she gave me her email. I wrote it down. And in my brain, I'm thinking, yeah, right. Like, you're going to forget about me. Like, you're leaving for 2 weeks to go to Jamaica to host your big conference. By the time you get back, I was like, you're not going to remember me at all, right? So in one ear, out the other for me. I finish up at her house. I do all sorts of other things that she needs, and I move on with my life, right? I mean, I should have had a giant plate of crow in front of me, because 2 weeks and 3 days later, guess who's on my phone saying, hey, loved your resume. Can you meet with my COO? And I was like, sure. So she sets me up with Rodara, who I absolutely adore. And she sets me up with her, and we go through our interview. And here I am a year and 3 months later. So it was definitely the weirdest way I've ever gotten a job in my entire life. And it was a very interesting process, but I am so grateful. And all I can say is that it was entirely meant to be.
Okay. And then can we find a shoe repair shop? Because I have a bunch of shoes, like those outfits that you're gonna take to the tailor. I have a bunch of shoes that need the heel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can we dust this out? Because I got sand in it. Just dust.
Yes.
Yeah.
What kind of looks would you like to add? Like maybe like more casual things or like beachy?
We got food. Okay, so what I would like to do is have everything laid out, all the outfits laid out before we pack the things.
Tulum. Tulum trip was nice. It just wasn't long enough. And even though it was 12 days, I just did way too much work because there's just so many things going on. I just got to be a better CEO at really delegating. And one of the things that I got to do right now is just about team. Like, that's the only way I'm going to free myself is by making sure that we have the right people in place, doing the right things, because otherwise, because it's my company, then I'm financially responsible. I have to take care of all the things. So it's like, if that's not together, I can't be focused on all the things that are not my job. And right now I'm focused on too many things that are. So my Tulum trip, while it was amazing, I did way too much work. If you really want to be a successful businesswoman and happy, and by successful, I don't mean just making money, because that's a really big misconception, right? I don't think that we should be sacrificing ourselves for these brands. I don't think we should be neglecting our families or ourselves. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that you just don't get to see, and that you're in conversations that, quite frankly, you're not privy to. And this is a really closer look on what that looks like, because I don't want to give the illusion that this shit is easy. I want you to know that it can be more easeful, but it's still work. And it's not that it's rocket science work. It is a lot of work, and the investments are real. You know, the energy and the alignment you have to put in knowing yourself so that you can actually show up and be on camera and live stream and create content and write good emails and blogs and connect deeper with your audience. All those things are important. And in order to be able to do that and to see this industry, coaching specifically, then we had to create this series, because otherwise, how would you know? Hey, how you doing? I'm tired. Yeah, I just need to freshen up because I got to go to Miami tomorrow.
So you want to put the same thing in?
Yeah. So this is one of my clients. I just opened TikTok, and her name is Regina Buckley. When I started working with her, she was making $85,000 a year. She had been in business already for like 9 years. And after working with me for 2 years, she makes over $350,000 a year. And so our goal for this year is $500,000 for her for this year. It's like amazing. Like, it's so much success out here. It's crazy. From $85,000 after being in business for 9 years, and then a couple years, like more than tripling her income. People always ask me for ideas. I'm like, I don't have any more ideas. Like, you just get tired of thinking. Like, I don't have no more room to think about nothing. Like, making decisions. Like, decision fatigue is a thing. When you just can't make any more decisions, you're just like, that's like when moms are like, don't ask me or ask your dad. That's what that is. It's mental exhaustion. So what really got me into the entrepreneurship journey even more seriously, I always dibbled and dabbled in entrepreneurship some way. What really made me take this more seriously was I got fired from a job that I worked at when I lived in St. Louis. And it was what I would say was my dream job. And I was making what I thought was good money at that time. And it was good money at that time, right? It was sustaining myself and my daughter. I was able to do a few things. But when I got fired, it showed me how unprepared for life I really was, because I was not a good steward of my money at the time. I had big plans, but I wasn't necessarily moving towards all of them. I did have some things going on. I was dibbling in real estate and I had a rental property. So I was doing a little bit, but there was more. And I think because I really energetically, I didn't want that job anyway. I really wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur. I think me getting fired was God's way, the universe's way of pushing me off the cliff and saying, listen, bitch, if you're going to do, I don't know that God said that part, but I definitely said that in my head. Push me off the cliff, and it's like either you're going to sink or swim. And I swam. And for a while I sunk. I have to give this a shot. And if it doesn't work, then I can always go back and get another job. But it didn't happen like that immediately. For 6 months, I really was just in limbo. Like I was in limbo. I moved from St. Louis, Missouri to Atlanta, Georgia, and I slept on my best friend's couch for 6 months. I sent my daughter to Mobile, Alabama, where my parents lived, because I couldn't take care of her. I had to go to the food pantry for food. Like I was literally what I call broke. And that was a period of time in my life where I was like, either I'm going to be successful at something, or this life is just going to be mediocre as fuck. And I was like, I'm not mediocre. And I made the decision to, at that time, I answered a Craigslist ad. But before I did that, I had this crazy belief that everything was going to be okay. So even though it didn't seem like it was going to be okay because shit was going awry, I knew that it was going to be okay. And so I just kept moving inside that energy that this is going to work out. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. And one day I entered a Craigslist ad that said that they would pay me, or someone, they didn't know they was talking to me, but I knew they was talking to me, $21,000 for 30 days of work, doing the same thing I got fired for. And I couldn't send my resume in fast enough. And that journey and me obtaining that contract helped me earn the money and see possibilities for a new life. I didn't make $21,000, but I did make $17,483.43 in 37 days. And that was the beginning of my life changing. Now, while that was a different business, it helped me see something that this shit is possible, that I can create my own path. I can create my own wealth. And that wasn't a lot of money in the big scheme of things. Like for me today, I couldn't afford, like my lifestyle today and my expenses far exceed $17,000 a month. But that was a glimpse of OMG, this shit is real. And that was all the inspiration I needed to be motivated to then start seeking coaching and other opportunities to explore my skills. So the CEO Exchange program, really where that came from was I was sitting in a mastermind for my own self, right? Because as a business coach, I also get coaching. I'm also being trained, to make sure that I can provide even higher levels of service to my own clients. And so I was like, where are all the people that actually know how to market, or the people that actually want to build and be a part of a team? And I was sitting there in Nashville, and it just came to me, the people that know the most about this industry are the people in this industry, are the women inside of my community online. And that's really where it came from. I was like, I wonder what people would be willing, and there's a Facebook post that I posted. I was like, I wonder what people would be willing to actually put a pause on their business and come inside and work with our team for 6 months and relocate to Las Vegas temporarily. And we put it out there and people were interested.
Hello, my name is B. Jackson. I am an author, speaker, and a coach to women who have difficult or narcissistic relationships with their mothers. I am also the copywriter here at Aprille & Co. as I'm a part of the CEO Exchange program.
So I am Trissetta Washington. I am a life balance coach. I work with professional women executives, business owners to help them create a little bit more balance in their life. They go hard and end up being all work and no play. And so I try and help them bring a little bit more play and adventure into their lives.
I'm Laura Gaither. I'm a life coach and intuitive consultant, and I am working with Team Aprille.
I was like, if people are going to do this, right, and like uproot their lives for a minute, take a pause, it takes like a specific person. So we created these rounds of different things that they had to do and be interviewed by the team and all of that. And I was like, we got to document this some kind of way, right? What motivates me really honestly is I never want to be broke again. Like some people have these big, things, I want to save the world. No, I don't want to be broke again. I don't never want to stand in the food stamp line again. I never want to be in a food pantry line again. I never want my electricity cut off again. I never want a foreclosure again. I never want to see an eviction notice. Like those things motivate me, and they motivated me in the beginning. What inspires me now is all the impact that we're making, and that I get to, through my work, help other women change their lives, which also changes the lives of families. And then the lives of communities are changed as a result. So that's what motivates me now and what inspires me now. But when I started, it was just that I never wanted to be broke again.